Village Baptist Church exists to win people to Christ and develop them into active disciples, equipping them to serve as ministers in the church, community, and around the world, leading them to worship God in spirit and in truth.
We have a special birthday this week. Connie Marie Page Okoyen will be turning 2 years old tomorrow. Happy birthday, Connie.
Hello, Village, and to all other people who are listening and participating with us on these online services during these difficult times. I would like to say hello to you. I miss everybody. Some of you, I still see you, but there are a few people that I haven't seen and you haven't heard from me. I want you to know that we're praying for you. We're thinking about you. It's amazing how we take for granted the opportunity and the privilege to be able to hug one another and to see one another face to face. I just can't wait to see what it will be like the first time we meet together. So I want you to know that I miss you, and thank you for praying for me. Thank you for sending words of encouragement. I want to thank everyone, and I just pray that God will bring this thing to an end very soon. I also said that some of you, we see each other on Wednesdays and on Fridays on Zoom, and we have fun and we share with one another what's going on with one another. This past Wednesday, we really talked about what is happening in the whole country, in the nation, and in the world. And we, instead of spending just 1 hour that we usually did, we went way beyond the time because I believe everybody wanted to talk and to help suggest some things that are going to happen to us as a church. So because of that, I have gone ahead and appointed a group that I call the Church Community Action Group. And this group is going to be chaired and headed by Shola. And I am asking them on behalf of the church to get together via Zoom, of course. And if things change rapidly and we can meet together too, they can also do that. What they will do is really get together to figure out what type of action or actions that our church can do to make this world a better place, to make the relationship between white, Black, Asian, Hispanic, and Native Americans. What can we do in this small corner of ours to make it better for the whole nation? And I'm asking them to focus on 12 things. There are 3 numbers that are significant in the Bible. Well, more than that, but at least 3 that I want to focus on. The number 7, the number 10, and the number 12. So I've chosen the 12. And as in form of the 12 tribes of Israel, or the 12 disciples of Jesus, the original ones, and to think about 12 things, 12 actions that we can take as a church to relate to one another and to also minister to our world. What better church can do that? Village Baptist Church can do that because we have the mixture. We're not a Black church, we're not a white church, we're not a Chinese church, we're not a Japanese church. We are the church of the world. And we do have a mixture in our church. So I've chosen the following people to help us do this. Shola and Maud Akoyon, they will be the sort of guide of this group. I'm also asking Oren and Mikhail Carpenter to be in this group. I'm asking Adam and Jenna Conwisher to be in this group. I'm asking George and Mary Ellen Lagomasino to be in this group. I'm asking John and Joanna Pond to be in this group. And lastly, Dan and Annette Lagomasino to be in this group. And the oppression of one of us is the oppression of all of us. And we cannot overlook what is happening in the country. We cannot overlook what is happening in our world. But the thing is, how are we going to deal with it? Now, this group, they are going to report to me and the First Lady. So myself and Alfreda will take their reports. We're going to pray about it, and we'll decide what to present to the Board of Elders of the church. This is going to be our church policy moving forward. This is going to be what we do as a church to change our world. And we're going to continue to pray that God is going to change America. America needs a change. And we want to be a change agent. We want to be part of that. That's my first announcement. My second announcement is I would like to thank all of you that are still supporting BAF, Better Africa Foundation. Better Africa Foundation is the mission, art, and part of our congregation. Every Sunday when we were together, we were asking people to give $2 every Sunday to go towards the work that we're doing in Africa. But because we're not together, I guess out of sight is out of mind. We're not getting no significant support for the ministry in Africa. Even if you can only do it once a month, whatever, we're going to need that. We're going to continue to need that. So add $2 to your tithes and offering and indicate that that is for Better Africa Foundation. Now, I want to thank that many of you in our church that are still supporting on a regular basis. I don't want to point you out or anything or embarrass you. You probably don't want the whole world to know what you're doing, but I want to thank you. There are at least about 13 or 12 of you that are still supporting on a regular basis every month, and that goes a long way. Because even though we're not together, remember that we still have that ministry in Africa. We still need to do it. Lately, we just gave to the whole village of Aklankpa, asked them to come and get free water for a whole week. Now, that means we're losing money from selling the water to them because we sell the water to them at a very cheap price, and it's very clean water. So we're able to do that because we have people in our church who are still supporting on a monthly and a regular basis. So I'm going to ask you to please do that. Before I came here today, I heard the good news that Hannah's surgery has been done, and she is now recuperating. And so I'm going to ask you this week, please remember this prayer request for this week. Pray, please, for the following people or following group. 1, the appointed group for community action that I just announced to you. 2, I want you to pray for Janice King, Michelle Warner, Annette Lagomacino, Sammy Parker, and all those who may be undergoing health conditions in our church that needs our prayer. Please pray for our young people. I know that they're still in contact somehow, but it is very tough when they cannot meet together. And you know, young people like to meet together. So we're going to continue to pray for them. Pray for Dory Hudson Spruce. There's nothing wrong. She's just on my mind, and I just want us as a church to pray for her. I want us to pray for our new converts, and here in the U.S., here in California, here in Petaluma and the Bay Area, and also in Africa. I am so encouraged by Tatiana, what she's doing, her involvement in the church, her involvement in the Zoom on Wednesday and Friday, and I'm encouraged by that. I thank God for her. I want us to pray, continue to pray for peace and justice in our world, and God will bless us all and keep us safe until we meet in person again. Thank you. God bless you.
Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. As we come before you with the needs of our world, we confess our failures and our sin. For our words are many, yet our deeds have been few. Fan the fire of compassion once again. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. When the cries of victims go unheard in the land, and the scars of war refuse to heal, will we stand for justice to empower the weak till their bonds of oppression are no more? Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Lord, renew our vision to be Christ where we live, to reach out in mercy to the lost. For each cup of kindness to the least in our midst is an offering of worship to the throne. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy. Kyrie eleison, have mercy. Christ eleison, have mercy.
Ṣé Olúwa kò lè bàjẹ́ o? Iṣẹ́ Olúwa kò lè bàjẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ Olúwa kò lè bàjẹ́ o. Iṣẹ́ Olúwa kò lè bàjẹ́ o. 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 Iṣẹ́ Olúwa kò lè bàjẹ́ o. Ohun tá fi fẹ́ ṣe kò lè bàjẹ́ o. Ohun tá fi fẹ́ ṣe kò lè bàjẹ́ o. 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 Iṣẹ́ ṣe Olúwa, kò lè bàjẹ́ o.
We did In God We Trust last week, In God We Trust, part 1. And today we're going to do In God We Trust, part 2. We base it on Proverbs chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all of your hearts, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. When I started thinking about this passage, what is going on right now in our world was not even on my mind because it wasn't part of the picture. But now we have this going, we have protests going on every day. We have it going on here in America. We have it going on in the world, in New Zealand, in France, in the United Kingdom. We have it going on everywhere. And we thank God for people of conscience everywhere who is standing up and declaring that justice must be blind. But even with all that good, all that protesting, we have to be careful that we don't trust in man. We have to be careful that we don't trust in institutions. Let me remind you of what I said last week. We cannot trust in man because man is morally bankrupt. And I talked about that by pointing out the rate of abortion in America and in the world, over 40 to 50 million a year in the world. And we talk about America from 1970 to 2016. 2007, somewhere around there. We talked about how over 46 million abortions have been performed. And we talked about how daily and yearly and weekly and monthly, we're still doing this so that over 600,000 has been done. And it doesn't matter who is president. It doesn't matter a president that tells you, I believe in the Bible or whatever. In every administration, the abortion rate keeps going on, keeps going up. Today, it's still going up. We talked about racism, and in the racism came all this that we were talking about, George Floyd and what has happened to him, what has happened to Aubrey, what has happened to so many, Trayvon, what has happened to so many people. And unfortunately, when you talk about these things, you're talking about Black people being murdered and massacred and lynched in this country in this century, in this time. It's not good. We talked about men being bankrupt because of war. There's war everywhere. It's amazing how many people the United States has killed. And some people consider themselves war power because they're able to kill people with the ammunition they're producing. And we're proud of it. We spend more money on war than we do on childcare. We are bankrupt, morally bankrupt. And it is said in Romans chapter 3, verse 10, there is none righteous, no, not one. It is said in Romans 3:23, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. So if we trust in man, we are going to be in trouble. We cannot trust in man also because man is finite. His mind, sometimes he thinks he knows something, but his puny brain cannot comprehend what God knows. Man is finite. We are limited. Man is limited in his thinking. Man is limited in his power. Man is limited in his morality. So we cannot trust man. It's amazing. I've seen some people, even in our church, I've seen people come to our church, visit our church a few weeks, and say, oh, they like what they see. They They really love what is happening, and then they stay for a little while and they're gone. Man is too fickle. They change. They are not stable. They don't put their trust where their trust ought to be. Man created institutions. Man created institutions that we know today that are faulty. And they are really ridiculous institutions that man has created, but it's now, instead of helping man, it is persecuting man. The World Health Organization, the United Nations, NATO Alliance, all of them, if you look at them, they are not, I don't care what politics you have, they are not helping man. They are destroying our world, and they don't care about people. They only care about money. So we can't trust in organizations. We cannot trust in the government because the government is oppressive and heathenistic. And we blame other countries. We say, oh, they're not democratic. They're not this democracy. What is so hard about democracy when you don't recognize the humanity and the dignity of another person? Your democracy is garbage. God's system of government is theocracy, and we have rejected it. We didn't just reject it in America. The Israelites rejected it. That's why we have what we have today. That's why they have been captured and taken into captivity. That is why Rome, we used to rule the world. Now you can't even mention it. Russia, there was one time Russia, they didn't even have food to eat. But they have a lot of ammunition to kill people. The governments that we have, we cannot trust in government. We cannot trust in man or government or institution for one primary reason: man is totally depraved. All his faculties have been affected. His emotions have been affected. His intellect has been affected. And his will has also been affected. So if we cannot trust in man or anything related to man, who can we trust? Hey, in God we trust. In God we trust. Not the lie they put on your money. Not this lie, in God we trust. I'm talking about Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. In God we trust. Trust in the Lord. Don't trust in this garbage. Trust in the Lord. And lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Make sure you are trusting him with all your heart. You cannot trust God partially. The heart is the center of the being, according to the Hebrews, to the Israelites. When they say trust in the Lord, they say don't trust him halfway. You cannot trust God sitting on the fence. You have to go all in. You have to put all your weight upon him. Focus on him. Who is this God I'm talking about? I'm going to explain that a little bit. Trusting God with all your heart is the action that you take. It's not just in what you say. It is what you confess, and it is also what you do. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Put your faith on him. Put your trust in him. The test is, where do you go when you have problems? Where do you go first? Where do you go when it is a health problem? Where do you go first? Where do you go when it's a relational problem between man and husband? Man and wife. Where do you go? Where do you go when there's a problem between government and the people? Where do you go first? That's the test of whether your heart, your whole heart, is trusting in God. The songwriter, hymn writer, gospel writer, I don't know who it is, but he said, where do I go when there's nobody else to turn to? Who do I talk to when nobody else wants to listen? Who do I lean on when there's no foundation stable? He said, I go to the rock. I know he is able. I go to the rock. I go to the rock of my salvation. I go to the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountain, and the mountain stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand, on Christ, the solid rock, I stand. When I need shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. Who is this rock? I'm feeling like preaching right now. Who is this rock? The Father is the rock because he is eternal. The Son is the rock because he is eternal. The Holy Spirit is the rock because he is eternal. The Trinitarian economy for the Christian is the rock of our salvation. Why do I go to the rock? Why do I go to Jesus? Why do I go to the Father? Why do I go to the Holy Spirit? Because he is omnipotent. I go to the rock. I go to the Trinity. I go to the rock because he is omnipotent. He has all power. His power is not limited. I go to the rock. I go to the rock because he's omniscient. He knows everything. Some things you think he doesn't know about you, I have news for you. He knows everything. There's absolutely nothing you can hide from him. I ask some people, why are you not going to church? Well, I don't want God to see this in me. I said, you don't want God to, you think God has to learn something? No, he knows you. He knows you already. And I thank God I go to him because he's omnipresent. He is everywhere at the same time. My God that I go to is the God of the now. He has no past. He has no future. He is always the eternal now. He is here with you. Even when you look around and it doesn't look like anybody is there. God says, trust me. Trust me. I've got your back. Trust me, I've got your problems. Trust me, I am here, even when you don't think I'm there. Trust in the Lord and lean not your own understanding. In all your ways, lean on him, and I know he will direct your path. Everything. Don't ever exclude him from anything. In all your ways, don't exclude him. Don't think this is too small to take to God. Don't exclude him. This is just too, I don't know if I want to talk to him about this. Talk to him. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. I think I'm feeling like I want to do Trusting God Part 3. So I'll do it next time. God bless you.
You're unchangeable, 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 unchangeable.